Now, the second part is about Asha. Asha. And I have a chapter, Fabu Land. There is nobody who lives in this city who does not know about Fabu. It's the world headquarters of Fabu.
Ladies and gentlemen, please sit back. The speech you are about to listen to is for Ibadan, and it will be delivered by Professor TOYIN FALOLA. Professor TOYIN FALOLA is the Jacob and Francis Sanga Musika Chair in the Humanities and University Distinguished Teaching Professor at the University of Texas at Austin. A recipient of 18 honorary doctorates, an annual conference has been named after him, TOFAC, TOYIN FALOLA Annual Conference on Africa and the African Diaspora. The Association of Third World Studies has named its annual best book after him as the TOYIN FALOLA Prize for the best book on Africa. He has contributed to various academic associations, once serving as the president of the African Studies Association. He also has a book, A History of West Africa, one of the special advisors on Africa for the United Nations. He's about to give his speech. Professor TOYIN FALOLA is also a chairperson of the board of the Thabo Mbeki African School. TOYIN FALOLA, Professor of History, University Distinguished Teaching Professor, and the Jacob and Francis Sanga Musika Chair in the Humanities, University of Texas at Austin. He is an honorary professor, University of Cape Town, and extraordinary professor of human rights, University of the Free State. He served as the General Secretary of the Historical Society of Nigeria, President of the African Studies Association, Vice President of the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, Slave Route Project, and the Cluj Chair of the Countries of the South, Library of Congress. He is a member of the Scholars Council, Cluj Center, Library of Congress, the recipient of more than 30 Lifetime Career Awards and 15 honorary doctorates. He has written extensively on the humanities, including the humanities in Africa, knowledge production, universities, and the production of knowledge, and a recent book published by the University of Rochester Press, Decolonizing African Studies, Knowledge Production, Agency and Voices. As the author and editor of over 150 books on Africa and the African diaspora, he has been invited to speak on every continent and in over 60 countries. He managed 8 distinguished scholarly monograph series and serves on the boards of Thabo Mbeki African School, and also served on the boards of over 20 journals. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Professor TOYIN FALOLA to speak about Ibadan. What he has to tell us about the city of Ibadan. You'll find this very interesting. And he will also code switch, speaking both in Yoruba and English for us to understand. Please, let's be patient and listen what we don't know about Ibadan as part of the coronation lecture dedicated for the coronation of Rashidi Adewolu Laruja, the House of One. This speech, you will find a lot about Ibadan, what the professor has to tell us. I will also code switch this in both English and Yoruba.
Senator. Chapter here, you are going to enjoy it so much. Adéwùmí Ìṣọ̀lá inú hall náà láti ṣòkú wọn o nígbà wọn kú tá a ṣe pàtí kọ́nà bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo jókòó sí lọ́jọ́ yẹn. Mo máa ń gbá Fàbú gan tó pọ̀. Nítorí wá ṣẹlẹ̀ ni pé àwọn èèyàn tí ò mọ̀ ń pa Ìbàdàn wọ́n á rò pé irọ́ ni Fàbú yẹn, irọ́ yàtọ̀ sí Fàbú. Ṣé ráwa tá à ń gbá Fàbú fúnra wa àpárọ̀ fúnra wa bọ̀ á ti mọ̀ pé Fàbú là ń gbá. Labá ń jayé là ń ṣe fàájì, à ń mọtí bí ìgbà tí dùn mú ẹ̀jẹ̀. Fàbú tèmi ni mo fẹ́ gbé fún yín o, Fàbú tèmi nìyẹn o. Lọkùnrin yẹn bá dé kí ló dé olóhùn àtìyàwó ń jà ká fún un mọ̀ràn jókòó ẹ bá ń gbé pẹpẹ súpù fún òmù báwa ṣe ń mọ̀gbò kan lónà mú olówó lọ́wọ́ o ṣùgbọ́n níbàdàn ni àwọn alágbádá ńlé o bóde bá ti ya ẹ̀kẹ́ sí à àwọn olówó lọ́wọ́ ṣùgbọ́n ẹ̀kẹ́ sí à bá a ṣe mọ tí yẹn náà lónà mú ló mú ńgbàlẹ̀ wá ṣù ó ní àwa sọ fún pé ọ̀rẹ́ wa kan ló máa ń bá àwọn èèyàn parí ìjà láti ọkọ àti ìyàwó tó bá ń jà pé aláàtìṣe lórúkọ ẹ̀ lẹ́yìn ìgò márùn-ún wá ní mr aláàtìṣe yín dà tó fẹ́ bá àwọn àtìyàwó parí ìjà wa sọ fún pé aláàtìṣe ní màtìṣe ààrẹ o àwa ń lọ léwu. ṣe rí fàbú yẹn kì í ṣe wípé àwa méjèèjì tá ń pa tájọ ń gbà kì í ṣe wípé ẹ fi ń parọ́ ṣùgbọ́n tẹ́ bá ti gbé àlejò sí òun á rò pé irọ́ lẹ̀ ń pa ni torí gbà míì wọ́n mọ bí a ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ àti bá a ṣe ń jù síra wa àti bí a ṣe ń fi àwàdà sọ nǹkan ńlá. Nígbà tí mo kọ mẹ́mọ́à mi ara àwọn ọba Ìbàdàn tí mo fẹ́ràn jù tí mo fẹ́ràn gan lọ́ba ń ṣàníkẹ́. When I saw the program for Kábíyèsí Ládọjà, I sent an emissary to him. I said, don't attend every event because at 81, anything can happen. When we were doing the coronation of Ashanike, he collapsed. I think some of you are old enough to know the incident. On his coronation day, they asked him to prostrate publicly 3 times. This is page 172 of the book. As part of the final rite of the ritual. After the 3rd prostration, he collapsed on the floor. Real story. This is not a fable. So they helped him to sit back on his seat. And when the letter asked him, Kábíyèsí, ṣé kò sí tẹ́ fi dákú? Ó lóun fẹ́ sọ fáwọn èèyàn pé ṣé ẹ ti ń ro kúrò mi? Mo sì ti kú fún yín, mo ti dákú fún yín. Because they were saying, bàbá yìí ti dàgbà kò ní pẹ́ kú, ọdún 10 wọn lò. Nǹkan kò ṣe wọ́n. Bàbá Ládọjà àwọn alógún ọdún o láti dùn bẹ́ẹ̀. And in this fable, we have to understand what they are trying to do. Akiwumi Shola asked a number. And I will cite one. You have to forgive me if you can't stand it. Òbúkọ ó máa ń rùn, stand it. Òbúkọ ó máa ń rùn gan. Kò tiẹ̀ fine. Irúgbìn yẹn gan kò kí n trim well. Mo ń fi kún fàbú Ṣọlá ni o, mo ń já àlùbọ́sà sí. Torí tí Ìbàdàn bá ń ṣe fàbú, tó bá ti gbọ́ fàbú yẹn, tó bá fẹ́ sọ fẹ́ lò mí, àwọn wá ju magí sínú ẹ̀. Mo ń ju magí sí fàbú Ṣọlá yẹn ń ju magí sí. tó bá wá rí obìnrin á wá máa ṣakọ òṣàkọ tó takòkò adìẹ òṣàkọ àkókò adìẹ àkọ́kọ́ post àpàyàn gbẹgbẹgbẹ á ní kó wò bó ń ṣe fáìn tó. tí obìnrin bá wá gbà fún dúró Adélékè wá ń bi ọ̀rẹ́ best boyfriend Ìṣọ̀lá nìyẹn o tí n bá parọ́ mọ́ Ìṣọ̀lá òkú ọ̀run kó já mi o tóbìnrin yẹn bá wá gbà fún Ìṣọ̀lá ni o tó bá wá nà dé sẹ́yìn kàgó kókó ṣe thank you ẹ̀ mọ́ tá máa ṣe ìdí ẹ̀ ń rún ìdí ẹ̀ ń rún obìnrin ewúrẹ́ yẹn á sọ pé lò bẹ́ẹ̀ ìdí ẹ̀ tí ewúrẹ́ fi máa ń sọ pé lò bẹ́ẹ̀ nìyẹn pètè níyẹn màmá ń rùn àwọn àmà méjì ẹ̀ ni a sọ yẹn ní chapter 6 àwa sọ fictions oríṣiríṣi àwọn èèyàn tó fi Ìbàdàn ṣoríire Fẹ́mi Ọ̀ṣọ́fisán wà bí o wọ́n fi Ìbàdàn ṣoríire tẹ́ bá wà àwọn eré wọn Ìjẹ̀bú kọ́ wọn lọ kó wọn wá o Ìbàdàn wọn ti kó wọn o wọ́n wà níbi kan bí lórí wọn lẹ́ẹ̀kan ẹ wà bí Ìbàdàn lẹ́ fi ṣoríire o ṣé mo parọ́ ni Túndé Kèlání dà mo rí Túndé Kèlání àtàkì wọn wá kí mi lẹ́ẹ̀kan mo lẹ sálọ ẹ dìde o ẹ dìde mainframe ẹrí mainframe yẹn tá a bá yọ Ìbàdàn kúrò bẹ́ẹ̀ kò mainframe ti collapse o kò lérò ó ti wó lulẹ̀ o ẹ lọ wo eré wọn ètò ìyẹ̀ṣe Cordelia eré Fẹ́mi Ọ̀ṣọ́fisán tó fi Ìbàdàn ṣoríire ni òní latest film wọn eré wọn tó láìpẹ́ jù Akínwùmí Ìṣọ̀lá ló kọ ọ Ṣàwòrò Idẹ ní kílà ní tẹ́wọ́ yẹn fi gba yìí o àbá ṣé ẹ mọ̀ ni ẹ máa sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ pé ẹ bá mọ̀ kílà ní tí Ìbàdàn bá gba gbogbo tó yá yín mainframe ó kú dànù o àwọn òwe tó wà ní things fall apart tí wọ́n lówó Ìgbò ní Ìbàdàn bí làjẹbẹ ti rí o. Ṣóyínká tó gba Nobel ó yẹ kó rúbọ fún Ìbàdàn o kó gbé lọ sórí ìta mẹ́ta o wọ́n wá pọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ àtòrí ìtàgé stage play that they've done and Ibadan has appeared in many novels, many poems, in fiction, so many of them. Tebakawe Elechi Amadi, Yejide Kilanko, Abimbola Adelakun, many of these writers, Ibadan gave them the data to write. Èmi tẹ́ ń wò yìí ọmọ kékeré yìí mo ti kọ ìwé 4 memoir lórí òde ajé tí mi ò bá gbé Ìbàdàn I would not have been able to write A Mouse Sweeter Than Salt. I would not have been able to write Counting the Tiger's Teeth. And a book of mine was released last week, Malaika and the Seven Heavens. Àwọn alájí àtàlájà àti mórí. And also the formation of clubs, Association of Nigeria Authors, Ibadan chapter. So Ibadan is part of the center of African fiction and creative work. And also in music, I devoted an entire chapter to 2 musicians, Barrister and Dado Ekwaka. It's an entire chapter. And I wrote on stereotypes, and it's something that the palace has to work on. Kí ló dé tó ń fi Ìbàdàn ṣe yẹ̀yẹ́? Àwọn tó dẹ̀ ń fi Ìbàdàn ṣe yẹ̀yẹ́ yẹn ará oko ni wọ́n o. Chapter 7 is about the stereotypes. And I pose a question, and I have here a professor who read the chapter, who said I should leave them alone. And I've said I am not going to leave them alone. And it's about time that once they abuse us, we should also abuse them back. The greatest skill we have the language of abuse. They cannot abuse us, and we keep our mouth shut. Ẹ má jẹ́ kán bú wa mọ́ o. Ẹ má jẹ́ kán bú wa mọ́. Àwa náà láti ní lọ. Àwa náà láti ní lọ. Tí wọ́n bá ti bú yín, kẹ́ ẹ bèrè ìlú wọn, lẹ́yìn náà bó ti yín padà. The final chapter is on Oba Rashidi Adewolu Ladoja. It's a very long chapter. And what the people expect of him. It will include urban renewal, managing the streets, creating job opportunities for young people. The Olubana is not the governor, and is not the president of Nigeria. But he has power based on tradition. He has the power to call on you and call on me for advice, and he has the power to create a list of certain things that are doable and certain things that are not doable. And I listed many of the activities that he should do. And many of the activities that are possible even as of today. It became a state capital. And as a state capital, it began to lead in modernization projects. Education, entrepreneurship, culture. Today, without any arrogance, without any exaggeration, Ibadan is the intellectual capital of West Africa. There is no exaggeration, there is no city that can match this achievement. And I'm very happy that the Vice Chancellor of the University of Ibadan is here. I'm very happy. And that university located here has contributed to making this possible. And as I proceed in this lecture, I will expand on it. So what I've done is to divide the book into two sections. The historical section, and I'm trying to be very brief, they gave me 1 hour. And what I call the past of Ibadan that you can now see in Ibadan. It is connected to a global economy. It is connected to a global culture system. It is connected to books and blackboards. It is connected to the market of peoples. It is connected to modernity. Here is one homework I want to give you. When you go to the markets, begin to study the products and where they are made. You are going to find products from Japan. When you live here, some of the cars you are going to drive are products from Japan. You are going to find products from China. You are going to find products from Europe. You are going to find products from the United States, including bend down. Used clothes that you buy. You are going to find products from Ghana. You are going to find products from northern Nigeria. You are going to find products from eastern Nigeria. And you are going to find cultural dynamism. You are going to find people of all nationalities. And when we did the demography, counting where people come from, which I did 7 years ago, which could have changed, I counted people from 187 countries in this city. Let me repeat, people from 187 countries, which we counted them by asking, where do you come from? And we got 187 countries. Just to tell you how dynamics the demographics has been. It has grown remarkably, and it's going to continue to grow. When my mother was alive, my grandmother, she said, are you not going to build a house? I said, the houses are too many. Why should I build another one? So he said, stop talking like that. It is after you built your own house, you begin to complain. After you built your own house, I want to let it for you. And you can now build your own. And the city is a teacher. It's a teacher in various ways. It will teach you ideas on the street. It will abuse you when you mess up. It will praise you when you do well. And it's a big city. Our MC referred to Ibadan scholars and how people say Ibadan people don't read. Chapter 3, I wrote an entire chapter on the intellectual tradition and legacies of Ibadan scholars. It's a very small list. It's a very small list because a list is very difficult to compile. And in this room, I've seen some of the people that I mentioned. I've seen the Vice Chancellor of the University of Ibadan is here. Professor Amidu Sani, Vice Chancellor, is here. Benga Dewale, I've seen him. I just saw Professor Emiraji Oyelade is here. And in that long chapter on Ibadan scholars and intellectuals, I cannot mention everyone, but I pay attention to many leading scholars, so that if people tell you that they don't go to school, I've given you the data that you can use. And in chapter 4, I wrote a history of the higher institutions of higher learnings in Ibadan. Anywhere you stand in the city, within 30 minutes, you are going to run into a university. The founder of Leeds City University, we rode in the same car today. Professor Jide Oweye, sitting there. Professor Jide Oweye, can you please stand up? That is the founder of Lead City. He's an Egyptian man, but he knows Ibadan is better than his town. That's why I put it here. And the chair of this occasion, Ashipa Daisy, also they have a university, Kola Daisy University, and last year I gave the convocation lecture. Thanks for that. And you will see a long chapter on higher institutions. And I will be proposing to KBC, because we are going to have private sessions, that we are going to look for money to create a Ibadan chair in all these universities. I will be leading that initiative. If Bola Tinubu, if Mrs. Ahmed Bola Tinubu can raise 20 billion in 1 week, we should be able to do much better.